Hey, too many homies want to play Simon Says. Nobody want to play hopscotch. One step, two step down.
So first, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
How have you been holding up with the pandemic so far?
Honestly, for me and my guys, it's been crazy, but we just kind of kept the pedal to the metal. We kind of noticed very early that a lot of people were gonna like kind of pull back on things because we were in a pandemic. We kind of looked at it the opposite way and said, "Yo, let's attack." And from there, we just been making as many plays as possible, visibility-wise, exposure-wise, just to do what we can in the midst of just everything settling down. It's been pretty cool for us. Caught the vid like one time, but we still here kicking. You know what I'm saying? We're your mass people.
What was it like growing up in New Jersey?
You know, for me, it's crazy. I really only remember a lot of the things tied to music. Those are the biggest memories for me. Kind of booty. I got bullied a little bit, so I ain't really pay too much to all that shit. But music for me was the thing that really connected me with Jersey. What I always realized was Jersey was divided into two parts. You got the New York side of Jersey, then you got the Philly side of Jersey. And that's really where I started to find my love for just being around and seeing a lot of different shit. Like, Jersey was always super cool because it was like a blend of different sounds for the most part. So that's really where like I see a lot of that. But it was a cool place. Nice little environment. Kind of chill. Not like Chicago, obviously, but it was cool.
So you attended Rider University?
Damn, yeah.
What made you decide to go there for college?
So I remember in high school, I was talking to my advisor. I didn't really care much about college. I didn't really know much about it. Grades was cool, but I ran track. I got a scholarship to go to Rider for high jump and hurdles, and I went. Literally, there was a bunch of different schools and stuff, but Rider was the one I settled on, and I just kind of found my place there. That was my spot.
So after college, you ended up getting a job at a hospital. How was that experience?
It was probably one of the, because there's been a more uncomfortable experience than that, but it was definitely up there in like my top 3 most uncomfortable experiences that I've ever had to deal with. I thought it was what I wanted to do. I got a degree in healthcare management. I wanted to work on the backside of things and just understand how hospitals and all that work with healthcare. But I used to take a trip down from East Orange all the way out to, because I live in East Orange, I used to drive from East Orange all the way down to Princeton. It was about 2 hours down and back every day because of traffic. And that shit was hell. In addition to that, it was just boring. And I didn't really find, I didn't feel much love for what I was doing anymore. I mean, I got a degree just to tell myself, fuck, I'm not even using this shit. What the fuck I go to college for? I mean, it taught me lessons, cool ones and shit, I guess, but I couldn't stand that shit at all. It's crazy.
Who were some of your musical influences growing up?
Growing up. I mean, shit, we here. I mean, I kind of lined up a lot of these because these are a lot of my favorite projects and shit growing up. But I was really big on Chance. With Jenkins, when the Waters dropped, that shit was incredible. Oh my God, that was like the best project of that year. I don't even remember what else came out that year. But Mick Jenkins was crazy. Chance was crazy. You know, I actually got into music off of the Chicago energy. Herb and Bibby would kill shit. Obviously Chief Keef. You got Superboy, Hurt Everybody. Yo, Hurt Everybody. Everybody love that. Let me see, Alex Wiley, crazy. There were a bunch of it was honestly a lot of Chicago artists that I actually started liking music with. But as I started to get into it, I started branching off. You got J. Cole, one of my biggest inspirations. Kendrick Lamar, Drake, Ye is super crazy. Love J.I.D. That's the dog right there. You know, J.I.D. was obviously a little bit later, but everybody else was kind of who I was rocking with growing up. Those were the guys I usually loved to go listen to. Lil Wayne too. That was actually one of the first hip hop artists I really got onto. My boy actually played the Carter 2 for me, and I fell in love with rap. I was like, damn, this is a great place to start. And from there, that's where my obsession with just trying to bump as much as I could started.
Not even for the interview. I'm just curious. What's your favorite song on Carter 2?
Yo, low key. Let me go through this because I ain't bumped this in 1,000 years. Hold up. Where you at? Found you. You know what I'm saying?
It was that crazy. One and Receipt back to back on the track list. Those two are just so crazy.
Craziness, bro. And you know the wild part about it is my dog Aunt Thomas. We used to have, this is back when wire headphones were a thing. Had an iPod in your hand, sneak that shit up your I just be doing some bullshit. I used to do that shit all the way up to college. But yeah, that was definitely one that stuck out to me a lot. Best Rapper Alive was another one that I really was like, yo, motherfuckers can rap their ass off. Fireman, Crazy Sound. Now I'm looking at all this shit. This was really what got me into it. And from this, I actually transitioned into J. Cole Salon Story after that. I got late on the rap, but from there, I kept going.
When did you first start recording music?
Officially it was in high school. I was bullshit. Just doing little things, trying to record straight onto the phone from SoundCloud. First time I ever actually got into a studio though was when I was in college. I was a sophomore at the time. We was just rapping in some of the dorms. Our school is we're a regular school, but we also focus on liberal arts. So we had specific studios in the basement, and we used to just sneak in there all the time and shit. It just be recording. It wasn't really nothing crazy, but I think my first like real recording, I think I recorded a freestyle like Sideline Story, and from there shit just started going off. But I didn't get into that like really seriously until college.
So last year you dropped your EP From the Heart Volume 2. Can you talk about the creation process of that tape?
First and foremost, I appreciate you calling it an EP. That means a lot to me. But so with that, we kind of had an idea going into everything. Obviously the pandemic hit. We kind of switched up how we were moving a little bit. By June, we kind of had a whole track list. It wasn't even called From the Heart Volume 2 at all. It was something entirely different. And after we made a decision that we were going to keep going with things, we kind of switched everything out. At the time, we kind of felt like it was just a compilation of tracks. It really makes too much sense. Yeah. So we kind of ripped a lot of things from scratch. We had Dreams at 3 a.m. We just built around literally all of that from top to bottom. I remember moving to my cousin and my manager's crib in, it was like July, August-ish. And we worked on that project every single day. From that point that we moved in all the way up to when we turned it in. Every day, from sun up to sundown. I was working at Best Buy at the time. I would go in there, do some bullshit ass shifts, get out, go crazy on that shit. And it was just relentless. Every day. I'm talking about bumping the project every day, being like, yo, this ain't it. Let's take this shit off, bringing shit back on. We was fighting for songs to be on there, fighting against songs. It was craziness. But it was one of my favorite moments simply because we had just been so locked in on it. Like, we literally lived with the project to the point where, like, you could tell, me and Miz used to talk. We used to be like, this part don't really sound good here. The song not even on, but we done played this song so many times in our head, you could literally hear the structures of that shit playing out in your head as we talking about it. It was so crazy how we was feeling things. We was looking at deeper meanings and shit. Like, it was just a moment where we just really invested everything into it and just went crazy. It was one of my favorites.
So you only had 2 features on the EP from Deontay Hitchcock and Alex Banin. What made you decide to have them featured on the project?
Yeah. So believe it or not, there's a third feature on here. On Seattle Second Half, there's a rapper before me. His name Noah. That's my dog.
It's not on the track list, right?
Yeah, it's not on the track list. A lot of people don't know that. But Deontay and Alex. So Alex was cool. I actually was working on Gray at the time, and I remember saying to myself, like, this is good, but I feel like I need a singer. And I went on Twitter and I was like, hey, does anybody know a singer? All of a sudden, people throwing me different videos, and somebody was like, yo, you should get Alex Banin. And I'm like, Alex Banin? Get the hell out of here. Mind you, I was checking out everything with Code of a Friend. I'm already looking at it like, yo, is this the same person? Yeah. Crazy, right? So I ended up hitting her. She was just like, yeah, I would definitely be down. What's your number? Want to FaceTime? Want to talk to you? I'm thinking to myself, like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. FaceTime me. We talked like maybe for like 2 hours that night, just bullshitting, talking about music, just good energy. And even at the end of the whole conversation, I forgot that we was even working on the song. Sent it to her, knocked that shit out in like about a week. Shit was fire, and I just was like, hey, this is great. Deontay, a little bit crazier. I remember we were, kind of finalizing the tracks, and I remember saying like, yo, like, we definitely need a feature. Earlier in the year, I got thrown into an NPR article with Kenny Mason and Deontay. Now I suggested like, yo, you should reach out to Kenny Mason and Deontay. Reached out to Kenny Mason, he didn't respond. Was busy at the time. Angelic Hill Rap was going super crazy, so it made sense why, bro was just busy and shit like that. At the time too, Deontay had Better that just dropped as well, so we reached out to both of them. Deontay hit me at first. 2 days later, he go on Twitter and say, yo, what are some artists that I should work with? Everybody just kept saying Chris Patrick. So he ended up saying like, yo, all right, cool, I'll check out Chris Patrick. That's cool, it's bro hard. I was like, yeah, I'm tough. Ended up sending him 2 records. He didn't get back to me on that. Not that, like, one thing, he was busy too. And kind of ain't expect nothing back from us what it was. We started doing a verse a day. He goes, yo, I want to do a verse a day on Twitter. I said, I'll join him. We did 62 days straight of verses. Like, every day, sending shit back. And we missed days, we sending them shit back and forth. Typical shit came about on day 2 or day 3. And when that shit came back, it just sounded like, a lot of people always say it sounded like we was in the studio together when we made that shit. Like, nah, we was miles apart. But that shit just was so seamless. He fucked with the vibe, I fucked with it. And then we literally flew out to Atlanta, linked up with bro, got the video shot. But yeah, it was like, coincidence and chance with the both of them. Alex, obviously, I ain't know nobody knew Alex enough to even throw her my way. And then Deontay just happened to want to do a verse a day to the point to which we, made typical shit, which is crazy as hell.
No, the third feature yours.
Oh, third feature. Noah. Grew up with him. That's my dog. We got a squad called CXR, Crossroads, Crossroads intersection for like all talent and just culture as a whole. And Noah's another homie who's an artist on there. We was literally chilling one night. Me and Miz was playing basketball. So we get heated in the one-on-one shits. We finished that. The homie Ray threw on some beats, started working on them. And Seattle was one of the songs that came from that night when we was working. But yeah, it's good energy. We was off the Casamigos just writing, and Seattle was born.
Speaking of basketball, how did it feel to be featured on the 2K soundtrack?
That was a moment I didn't think was gonna happen as soon as it happened. For me, I'm 25. I've been doing this music shit like seriously for like the past 3-4 years, and I think the first 2K I ever played was 2K11. I think it was. That was some shit I just did not realize was gonna happen as soon as it was gonna happen. I remember getting the email saying that they was gonna use it. I ain't believe it. I remember seeing it in a TikTok. I ain't believe it. I saw it on the goddamn playlist for 2K, and I still ain't believe that shit. But it was that day that we turned out the game, and we sitting downstairs in the basement, and that shit just the first song we heard when the game loaded up. It was Swish. It was incredible because that had always been something that when I started rapping, my cousins when they was younger, was like, yo, you gonna be in 2K someday. That was some shit I only people always talk about little things. That's just some shit that you dream about. But to see it really come to life and happen is phenomenal, very humbling. It's a very rewarding experience. I mean, I feel like I'm immortal now in 2K forever. But it's definitely one of those dreams to come true that I just did not think was going to happen this early.
Are you a Nets fan because they used to be in New Jersey, or how does that work?
Hell no, I'm a Wizards fan.
Wizards?
I died for my squad. Yeah, I'm a Wizards fan. I was a fan of John Wall. When he came to the Wizards, y'all not going to do that. Y'all not going to do that. I ride or die for them. I was hurt when they traded him to the Rockets. Yeah. We got Westbrook doing his thing. Beal, I still think Beal the best player in the league right now, but because of the state of the team, they're not giving him his credits the way they should, but it's cool. All-star team, right? That's all I need to hear. All I need to hear. Bradley Beal, one of the greatest players in the league. Don't sleep on him, the greatest. Wizards eventually will someday be one of them teams, and until then, I'm going to just stay down. Because when it's time for them to be up, I'm going to be up with them. I never really been too big of a Nets fan, but the Wizards for me was the first team I fell in love with for real.
So the Bulls and the Wizards have something in common, they both had Michael Jordan.
Yeah, two different types of Michael Jordans.
I was just,
you know what I'm saying?
I was not going anywhere with that. But
yo, man, I wish we had the Michael Jordan that everybody else had here, but no, we didn't get that.
Hey, at least y'all are the only other squad that had that,
Yeah, to say it is nice.
So on your song Dreams, kind of towards the end, you mentioned talking to your therapist. Are you in therapy, and if you are, how has your experience with that been so far?
From talking with my therapist, the tour starts with G. I think I went to therapy a couple times. So it was cool. I was going through a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Just unpacking a lot of shit that I went through growing up. Yeah. Just unpacking that was cool. And honestly, it was cool, but I hated it. I felt like shit didn't do much for me.
Sure.
And obviously, everyone's healing process in terms of getting out of those places are different. But for me personally, I felt like I found more fulfillment in just looking at myself in the midst of everything going on and just realizing what was really wrong. I remember one time I had a really shit day one day, and I remember telling myself I was never gonna fall back into that place. And from then I just kept pushing forward. But therapy was cool. I do advise if you are going through things, definitely check out therapy. But make sure your mental's right. That's the most important thing that you want to keep intact. Mental health is so overlooked, but it is important to have.
So last year you were featured on Red Bill's amazing project. How did you two first get connected?
Yo. Them Shrek playlists, man. Shrek threw me on a playlist one day. Redville ended up hitting me up and was like, yo, bro, let me get a verse. I was like, yeah, that's cool. A lot of the artists who I see on the Shrek playlist, I show love to. That was the first, time I really started to get a lot of exposure. So I show a lot of love to the artists on there and shit like that. Show love back. I'm really cool with a lot of them. And he hit me up with the verse. And I was like, yeah, I'm down. I got you. I think I remember submitting that verse maybe 2 days before he had to submit it because I was just tired of working on the project and shit like that. But that shit was crazy. When he first sent it through, I was like, who the fuck is this? And then finally he's 16. I'm like, oh, this is hard. So I said, bet, let's just give that swag and that energy and just ramp it up. But yeah, that's my dog. We met through Twitter just like I meet everybody else, and it's just been good since.
Really quick. I have to ask you about something.
Of course. Oh, shit.
Can you explain, what's going on here?
Oh, shit.
You can click it, Mike.
Oh, they going crazy. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Yo, come make a call real quick. Holy shit. Nah, this is nuts. Hold on, where Nas at? Yo, holy shit. shit, this is incredible. He gonna pick up because this motherfucker don't be doing nothing.
So
Yo, that's some shit. Nah, he got to pick this shit up.
Oh,
This my dog, man. This my dog, Nas Wilson, man. Grew up with him, bro. I hope he answered his phone, bro. Yo, bro, you not gonna believe this shit right now, son. Yo, I'm in a Lyrical Lemonade interview right now, right? And look what they fucking brought up, son. Look at this shit. You see that video? Yo, this shit crazy, son. That shit crazy. I did, but they was like, yo, could you explain this video? And I said, hold on, I gotta call my dog real quick. That shit crazy. Oh, God, though. That shit crazy. You good, though, bro? Hey, bro, what's good, bro? I'm probably gonna hit y'all right after this, bro. I got you, bro. Be easy. Peace.
Alright,
Yeah,
so
bro.
can you explain what's going on in this clip?
Alright, yo, so you was there, right, there? Was you there? Oh, you wasn't there. Alright, so me and all the homies, we was at the courts and shit. And I'm a shit talker. I'm a big shit talker, and I'm really bad at shit talking once I get started. Bro showed up, and we was going at it in the game, and I was like, bro, you can't bang out. He said, I bang out. So I said, let's go dunk for dunk. Cool. I went for the first one. I went up. He blocked that shit. And it was his go. So I said, all right, I'm good. I'm a high jumper. I jumped fucking 6'10". I should have had no problem, right? This motherfucker came through. I went up. I had my hand there. I said, oh, this is the money. Son cocked that shit back. I said, this is not the money. Let it go on me. And them motherfuckers was in there lighting me up. I remember it was crazy because I was going in, I think, into my sophomore year of college. And somebody put me on a fucking one of them bang out pages on Twitter. That shit was going crazy. I go back to school. First thing they said to me was, yo, Chris, I swear to God, I saw somebody who looked just like you getting dunked on this summer. And I had to deny them allegations. So somebody was like, no, that's fucking you, boy. Stop playing. That shit was terrible, bro. I remember I ran into I ran into the dude who dunked on me about like a year ago. We was there about last summer. No, not last summer. It was summer before, because that was before COVID and shit. It was the summer of 2019. And I remember talking to bro. He was just like, yeah, bro, I remember that. I wasn't going to say nothing about it, but I remember you. And that shit that's going to be the one stain on my legacy. They're going to bring that shit up forever and ever. Getting dunked on. As they should, though. As they should. As they should. Rightfully so. That's what it is. Y'all crazy, son.
I'm very happy y'all brought that up.
Thank you.
Very happy.
I am too. That's hilarious.
That ain't my day.
I'm here for memes.
On a kind of still slanderous note, I'm not gonna say who, but somebody told me that you have this thing where you'll eat like multiple Popeyes biscuits in a row with no beverage.
Yo, what the fuck is going on?
Let's go.
Alright, yeah, so the fact of the matter is, I like to eat a lot of weird shit. I got this weird ass thing where I just be eating anything. Like, I'm a hungry motherfucker. I'm skinny as hell, but track just got me eating anything. Yeah. And I eat shit in the worst way possible. Back when we was at Rider University, the down the hall dailies was super ass, and we just had to eat bullshit sometimes. And I developed this thing where I started eating bullshit, like biscuits with no bev, biscuits with no butter, biscuits with no jam. Other day I had wontons and eggs. That shit was weird as fuck.
Yams and ice cream.
Yams and ice cream. That's some weird ass shit. Yeah, bro, it's a lot of crazy ass shit. But I indeed can eat 4 Popeyes biscuits, no bev, no water. I'm going for 5 now. They just good as hell. I don't know what to say. They taste great. Yeah, bro. Yo, what the fuck?
Damn,
Self-hate.
You said self-hate? That's funny as shit.
So on a more serious note,
Absolutely.
who are some artists that you want to work with in the future?
So my top ones right now. If we talking like something that I see really coming soon, Kenny Mason, one of them. Jid, obviously. Kendrick eventually. Kanye West. Who I say? Isaiah Rashad. SZA, another one. And I'm just naming a lot of people like out there. A lot of people I want to work with, I'm working with now, so I'm very excited about. But let me see who else. Buddy's dope as hell. I definitely like to work with Buddy. Vince Staples eventually. Earth Gang would be fire. Shit, give me a cold record someday. You know, it's a lot of people in my head. I think who else? Saba would be super dope. Ended up being able to connect with him a little bit. That's something I definitely want to be able to work with him eventually someday. Smino, No Name, that'd be some shit. Chance someday, you know, a lot of the Chicago homies. Chicago's definitely on the top, like the higher side of my list when it comes to like go on work with. But those are just a couple people off the top that I definitely want to fuck with shit.
Again, not even for the interview. Curious. What's your favorite J. Cole song?
Favorite J. Cole song? So I don't know if I got. Well, nah. Do I got favorite? Dollar and Dream 3. That's one of my favorite ones. That shit got me through. My favorite verses though, Knock the Hustle, Adolescence 03 second verse is super crazy. That GOMD shit is crazy. I just like aggressive Cole. Super wild for me. Looking for Trouble. That's my shit. You know, my favorite one though gotta be Dollar and Dream 3.
Okay. And then the last question I have for you is, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I'm 25. I'm gonna be 30 in 5 years. That's all I see. I see myself being 30. But nah, I think shit gonna pop off. I think shit gonna pop off way before 5 years, but shit gonna be crazy. I don't know where I'm gonna be at specifically, but we not gonna be sitting around. We gonna be moving around a lot, all over the place, touring, most likely. You know, just hopefully by then we just gonna be able to build a brand. I mean, for us, once again, we talked about CXR and shit. CXR is like, it's like, we trying to be the next TD, next Dreamville with that CXR shit. We trying to change the culture of Jersey. I want Jersey to be in a better place for 5 years. I want artists to be feeling more inspired from Jersey in 5 years. I just want to be in a position to make change for a lot more musicians from Jersey in 5 years as well. Obviously, I want to be one of the big artists in the world, say shit. But like, outside of that, I want to just be able to be impactful just to my community and the culture I'm from, shit like that.
I crowd over people who crash in their mission and swerved off the road in they search. Cause the graveyard is really a warehouse for niggas whose dreams got submerged in the dirt.